In October of last year, an 18-year-old Russian girl named Catherine traveled to Turkey with her mother for a holiday. This was a trip they took every year, so everything was going smoothly and nothing seemed out of the ordinary. Yet. Catherine and her mom did the usual holiday things. They went to the beach, drank cocktails, went shopping, tried local food. Nothing unusual. But toward the end of the trip, Catherine began to complain about stomach pain. Her mother brushed it off and gave her some medicine for digestion. As their flight home approached, the pain wouldn't go away, so the two decided to visit a local hospital just to make sure nothing serious was happening. The local doctor diagnosed her with simple indigestion and sent Catherine back to the hotel. The next morning, Catherine and her mom packed their luggage and set off to the airport. As they arrived, Catherine started complaining about stomach pain again. Much worse this time. She was bending down from the intensity of it, which can be seen on the CCTV footage. Once they entered the airport, Catherine went straight to the bathroom while her mother joined the queue to drop off their luggage. After about 15 minutes with no sign of her daughter, her mother started to worry. She went back to check on Catherine only to find that she had entered the bathroom for disabled passengers instead of the regular restroom. Unusual behavior. When her mother asked whether she was okay, Catherine insisted she was fine, so her mother stepped back out to wait. Sometime later, Catherine returned and asked her mother for a bag of warmer clothes she had packed beforehand. Reasonable, since Russian October weather is nothing like Turkey's. Her mom handed her the bag, but questioned why she wanted to change now, not on the plane or after landing. Catherine explained that her period had started and her clothes were stained. That explanation was entirely plausible, so her mother suspected nothing. Catherine went back into the bathroom, into a different stall this time, changed her clothes and rejoined her mother. They dropped off their luggage, passed passport control, and then were abruptly stopped by the airport police. The officers informed Catherine and her mother that they were both being detained on suspicion of attempted murder of a child. What child, you might ask? It was Catherine's child. She had given birth in that bathroom and left the newborn inside the toilet bowl. Before we find out what happened next, let's take a closer look at Catherine herself. Catherine was born in Russia on June 7, 2006. She was the youngest child in a family of 4, which included her father, mother, and older brother. Her mother worked her whole life as a teacher, while her father served in the military. Almost nothing is known about her older brother, except that he lived with their grandmother for a very young age, away from the immediate family, which is rather unusual. From an early age, Catherine was interested in artistic activities, dancing, singing, and performing. After graduating from school, she enrolled in college to study protected ground vegetable plant production. Some classmates described her as sympathetic and kind, while others said they were not fond of her. Catherine kept details of her personal life secret from her parents. At the age of 18, she began dating a young man named Andrei. He wasn't her first boyfriend, nor her last, but many believe he is the father of the child, despite Catherine denying it. But what about the DNA test, you might ask? Well, that's where things get complicated. After Catherine left that bathroom, the only thing that saved the newborn's life was that a cleaning lady entered the stall and found the baby inside the toilet bowl, head up, legs down. The child was full term, had survived the birth, and still had a torn umbilical cord attached. Meanwhile, Catherine was rushed to the hospital after doctors discovered that the placenta was still inside her, a dangerous condition that required emergency removal. She also needed stitches due to tearing commonly associated with childbirth. After being released from the hospital, Catherine was charged with attempted murder, facing up to 15 years in prison. Her mother was charged as an accomplice. Her trial was still pending. Catherine claimed she had no idea she was pregnant and did not realize she had given birth. She insisted that she believed she was simply constipated. She even said that after she did her thing in the toilet, she didn't flush and didn't look, so she never saw a baby. As bizarre as this story sounds, Catherine and her lawyers managed to convince the court to reduce the charge to leaving the child in danger. She was released after serving 9 months in prison. Her mother was released after 5 months, and all charges against her were dropped. Meanwhile, Russian Child Protective Services contacted Catherine's father and requested that he travel to Turkey to bring his granddaughter home. He claimed he couldn't leave Russia because of his military service. Instead, he signed a document allowing CPS to transport the baby back to Russia, expressing that he wanted to stay in contact with the child. The baby was transferred to Russia and placed into foster care. Why didn't Catherine's brother travel to get the baby? A question everyone is still asking. And why not the father of the child? Catherine refuses to involve him and claims she is not certain who the father is. Upon returning to Russia, Catherine and her mother began trying to regain custody, but it is currently impossible. Catherine is under a new criminal investigation in Russia for attempted murder of her baby. Her parental rights were revoked, and she is now trying to appeal that decision. What do you think about this story? Do you believe Catherine? Do you think she should have her baby back? Let me know in the comments. Here is my personal opinion. No. And here's why. As part of a media campaign to repair her public image, Catherine gave an interview to a Russian celebrity. She repeated her narrative and came across as snarky and entitled. Then the interviewer proposed her own version of events. I think what happened in that bathroom is that you realized what was happening. You got scared, you panicked, and you left. Then you realized that what you had done was horrific, but it was too shameful to admit. It was too late. So the only way forward was to say you don't remember anything. Could that be what happened? It could be, Catherine replied.